time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jakub.
Shot it. Fucking shot it.
Just like sit there, start it.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
We could easily go 10 minutes without doing a thing.
No.
For the sake of the bit. And then we'd have to edit all of it out. But
my dog, all right, Walter,
yeah.
the loudest shaker in the history of dogdom, dude.
Like when he shakes, he's like,
he typically only shakes at night, and then he'll stay with with Zoe 5 nights a week. But like when we get him down, he just shakes, and he's so loud that he wakes her up.
oh, Jesus Christ!
And it's not just like like whatever. It's just like a.
It's like annoying.
Oh my God, it's so annoying.
Yeah. Dude,
infuriating because like her door's open, so then like he gets down, and then like because she's already like a light sleeper anyways, the moment like subconsciously she thinks or like she hears him get off the bed,
she wakes back up. Yeah, man.
It's
what my dogs do. They like to wait until it's about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't drink water all day.
Mm-hmm.
And they wait till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and they go in there, and they drink all of it. And it's like 5-10 minutes straight of just like...
Oh, that's annoying, dude. Do they lick when they get in bed?
Yeah, and then they just lick for about 5 minutes. And it's like, hey, I understand you're trying to sustain your life, but I want to strangle you. I want to like put your head in the water and be like, you should have drank earlier, buddy.
Oh, Lenny's the same way.
I'm tired of it.
She's... Like she sleeps all day long, and then 10 o'clock at night she wants to play, and then when it's time to go to bed, she's like, "Yeah, let me chew this bone and bring all the toys in the bed, and then I'm gonna get down and drink a gallon of water, and I have to like throw something at her half the time."
And it's like, okay, I'm just glad that we waited until right when I was about to fall asleep that you were like, let's do this now. Actually, this seems like a really good time to play and like drink a lot of water. Sounds like a great time actually. So.
I'm glad that we have the same problems.
Oh, man. It's nice to relate, sometimes. So,
it is good. And if nothing else, after 296 episodes, I would feel like we are, if nothing else, extremely relatable.
Yeah, I would say.
Maybe not in every instance, but like most of the time.
I think I'm always relatable. I think I'm the most relatable person on the face of the planet.
I don't think so.
Everybody has the same thoughts as me. Everybody just thinks the way that I do, and everybody can relate to exactly how.
Well, we're living proof that is categorically false.
How so? How do you imagine?
If everyone thought the way that you did, then this country would be in a much different position.
I think. Hey, one benefit.
Unless you secretly
is that we could all say that. I think if everybody thought the way that I thought, we'd probably be in a better place because objectively we've hit rock bottom. So
I don't think that we have, buddy. I don't think.
I want to see it. I say fuck it. I want to see rock bottom. Let's get it.
You want to see me go lower?
I can go lower. I want to see.
I can go lower.
That's the thing, man. If we're gonna go all out, just dumb, I say let's do it. Let's do the dumbest thing.
You say that until you lose all your money, and then you get mad about it.
Hey, the way I see it is, I just get to say I told you so quicker. We just get to say it quicker. And it's like,
but like it just doesn't.
That's cool.
It's one of those where like you sit back and you're just like, like like as it was told, as it was foretold, all of this, it is unraveling.
Hey, I think
I don't even want to talk about it.
I think it'll be just.
This
fine.
is an hour of not talking about it.
I think that. I'm just ready for the resistance, the revolution. I'm glad.
But you're not going to be a part of?
I'm glad that I won't be a part of it. I'll sit back and watch it. It's makes
then I
for
don't
great
feel like
television.
you get to reap any of the benefits.
You know,
You can't.
hey.
This is not a Mac situation where you get to play both sides.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna play both sides. That's for sure. But will I?
You're not, or you
I
are.
think every team needs an instigator, right? And I'm
No, it ain't
just
gonna
that
be you.
instigator, dude. I'm gonna poke the bear, and I'm gonna step back. You know,
Poke the bear how though? Because
I
you
don't
have like
know.
no online presence, so
I
it's not like
don't.
you're not gonna go out and protest. And you're not gonna do anything, so no one's gonna know about it.
I think I'm okay with not having an online presence. You know, I think I'm
I
okay with
mean,
that.
yeah,
I just
especially
because
now.
what does it get you? Honestly, what does having an online presence get you? Because I haven't seen it translate to anything.
Yeah, you're right. Like protests and yelling and
It's done nothing.
complaining has never changed
It
anything.
hasn't.
Yes, it has.
I mean, it's always changed it in the worst of ways,
In
right?
the that's subjective.
You get a head coach fired. Cool. Okay. Arguably,
You changed Sonic the Hedgehog's model.
okay, cool. I still think they should have let it go. I still think they
No, it
should
was
have.
terrible. It
Hey,
was terrible.
I am okay with corporations not listening and falling flat on their face. I'm okay
They
with it.
don't do that, but they no. See, they already don't do the first part, and the second part doesn't happen.
Okay, fair. But we could have ended up with a situation of Morbius, right? People would have hated it so
Yeah, I
much.
mean the Sonic movies are pretty decent though. So
They, the first one holds up. Second one's fine. I haven't seen the third one yet. I don't think so.
they're in. I mean, I went and saw them. They're in that order.
The
That's how
first,
good they
second, and
are.
third. Yeah, they normally do that. It's kind of crazy how they release movies like in the first, second, and third order.
Well,
Um,
that's called chronological.
yeah, unless you're like Star Wars. So
Yeah, well,
4, 5, and 6.
that's all.
I don't think they should have released 1, 2, and 3. They should just say 4, 5, and 6. Leave it a mystery. I don't think that we have to solve every mystery. You know?
Well, it's funny that you bring that up. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but we're gonna go with it. Uh, in your brain, what are some of the most famous unsolved mysteries to you?
DB Cooper, first one off the top. I don't think
Okay.
anybody can argue the fact that DB Cooper hijacked the plane. Nobody's found him. Is he dead? He's dead for sure. Because he's like, he'd be like 120, something like that, right over now.
No, he would not.
He'd be like 50 or something. I don't know. I don't know how old he would be, but he's dead. He's dead. He jumped out of the plane. I want to say, I like the theory that he committed suicide. He just like did all this shit for like pomp and circumstance, which is hilarious. Honestly, if you're gonna go out, make a bit of it. I think. But DB Cooper, Sasquatch, um,
Sasquatch is not real though.
Loch Ness monster,
Not
mystery.
real.
Bat. They have pictures of
Those,
it. They have pictures of both
they,
of those actually. What do
those
you,
are those are myths.
okay, but those are mysteries, right?
DB Cooper has like proof that it happened.
That's true, I guess. Okay, mysteries. Lisa Lamb. What the hell
Okay.
happened to her? That's a good
Right.
mystery. I guess the most prevalent one, as far as like murder cases go, would probably be Jack the Ripper.
Jack
Right.
the Ripper. Well, you bring that up,
Hmm.
and allegedly,
Allegedly, let's say big air quotes. Allegedly. Yeah.
the mystery has been solved.
Okay.
They have discovered it, and now all they're basically waiting for the verification of it. To bury the lead, they took the DNA of a suspect's like lineage,
Okay.
like
So one of his great
great
grandchildren.
great grandchildren, and it was 100% match based off of
Was it
crime scene that was preserved over time.
man? Okay. I don't know anything about science. I don't know anything about like
Clearly.
crime scenes. I would
So
argue that over time, shit breaks down, right?
I mean, if it's preserved correctly, then
But this is
it
when did
it
when did
w-
the
it'll slow down over time. So, Jack the Ripper was in London,
when is it? Eight
1906.
between August and November 1888.
Oh, so it was in the 1800s. Okay.
So the Whitechapel area of London. Hell yeah! Shouts out
Well,
Whitechapel.
Whitechapel
Hell yeah!
was that's how the local metal band got their name. They
Was it
took it
really
from
that?
that.
Oh damn! Dude.
Yes.
Hey, look at that. We
Yes.
learned something. Everybody learned something today. Good
I
job,
mean, I
guys.
knew that already, but okay. So basically, there is this like almost like a lifelong researcher at this point. Like he's written books, he's done documentaries, he's done all these things. So like this dude is like an expert on Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
This researcher has claims to have solved the 136-year-old mystery of Jack the Ripper, revealing a 100% DNA match linking the infamous serial killer to a long-standing suspect. Russell Edwards, who has spent years investigating the case, says that DNA extracted from a bloodstained shawl found at the crime scene of one of Ripper's victims, Catherine Eddowes, matches that of a Polish-born barber, Aaron Kaminsky.
Okay.
It is very difficult to put into words the elation I felt when I saw a 100% DNA match. This brings closure and a form of justice for the descendants.
Well,
Now, hold on. Kaminsky has long been a prime suspect in the brutal murders of 5 women in London's Whitechapel districts between August and November of 1888. The killer, who was never identified, terrorized Victorian England, mutilating his victims and earning the moniker that has since become one of history's greatest mysteries. Edwards, working alongside genealogists, traced a living relative to Kaminsky who agreed to provide a DNA sample. When tested against the genetic material found on the shawl, it reportedly yielded a match.
okay.
Go ahead.
What kind of genetic material are we talking though?
Blood.
Yeah, but wasn't it her blood? Why would it be his blood?
Or I mean, they didn't. I guess they didn't. They didn't specify.
Okay, so notoriously, right? Jack the Ripper killed Lady of the Nights, ladies of the night, ladies of the night, right? AKA, I don't know what's the PC term. I guess prostitutes. Is that the PC word? It's ladies of the night is the way I prefer it.
The descendants of Eddowes, this is the person that was killed, and Kaminsky are calling for an official inquest to legally confirm the killer's identity. We have the proof. A descendant of Eddowes. Now we need this inquest to legally name the killer. The shawl, which was purchased in an auction in 2007,
here we go,
was believed to have been found near Eddowes' body. Forensic analysis confirmed the presence of DNA from both the victim and Kaminsky.
Okay.
Further strengthening the case against him.
Okay.
So Kaminsky was an immigrant from Poland who was known to suffer from mental illness and was eventually placed inside of an asylum where he died in 1919. While many historians and experts remain skeptical of DNA evidence from such an old crime scene, supporters of the breakthrough believe it marks a turning point in the case. Edwards has assembled a legal team to push for an inquest, arguing that the modern forensic science has finally unmasked the Ripper.
I got several points to push back on. All right.
Okay.
One of the points is she was taking clientele, right? She had a shawl on. Okay. Like, what is to say that some DNA perchance landed on the shawl that was from just a gentleman that she had met earlier that night, right? Okay. There's inquiry number one. So I mean, I understand that, like, this Shaw, what is it? What's his name?
Kaminsky.
Kaminsky. I do recognize that
he was on the
like,
he was on the short list of suspects. Anyway.
Yes, and I understand. Like, so so he does have some evidence, like, against him. Okay, a little bit, but perchance he just visited her earlier that night and got caught in the crosshairs. Okay, or she got caught in the crosshairs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, second pushback is that it seems a little too forceful, right? To me, it feels
Why
like,
is that?
because it feels as if this gentleman has dedicated his entire life to solving this crime, and now that he has found a descendant of a Polish immigrant in England, right, that has evidence, some DNA material on a shawl found near the crime scene. And the thing too is that it was found near the crime scene. Hey. You know, I still am under the belief of ACAB here. Okay, even if 1888 England, I would still assume that, like, the cops weren't on the top of their game, let's just say. So they found a shawl, I guess, covered in blood. Be like, yeah, I guess that would be part of the crime scene. So, but I don't know. It just seems a little bit too forceful. And at the end of the day, what do you get out of it? You know what I mean? Oh, you solved
Closure.
1888 was.
Are you listening to music?
No, why? Is there music playing in the background? That'd be weird if there's like Victorian music in the background. I'm not playing music, dude. Am I? No, I'm not playing music, dude. No.
Dude, I hear music.
That's weird. That's weird because it's not me. I wonder if it'll be in the recording because I can't hear it on your end. But it's just like it's
distracting as
just
hell.
I'm not playing music. I promise. It's just
It
like
sounds-
Victorian
it
music
sounds
playing in
like-
the background. That'd be so creepy.
No, I hear it's like a lo-fi beat.
I have everything turned off. Let me just make sure, dude.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. But okay, so
Yeah.
let's at the end of the day, let's say they solve it. Okay,
Okay.
great. They figured out who Jack the Ripper is, and you are then given this choice, this hypothetical. Like it has to be something. I mean, I guess if you want to throw Loch Ness monster in there, but like more so that like these unsolved mysteries,
Mm-hmm.
like you get to pick the next one that is solved. What's the one that you want? Because like off the top of my head, there's like, okay, like Stonehenge. Like I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit about
I
Stonehenge.
mean, I think they've pretty much proven that it was a calendar of some sort. It was some sort of
but
way
it was
for
like,
them to
where
know
did it come from, and how did they fucking lift those big ass rocks? You know what I'm saying?
that it's one of those things, man, where
I don't. I mean, I don't give a shit.
wanna
That's one of the
give-
things I don't give a shit about.
I understand us thinking from 20th century brains where we're like, there's no way they could lift those rocks. They're super heavy. But I argue that people back then were just as smart as we are today, and they would have figured out some way.
were
Some
not.
way.
They
I
were
mean,
not.
do they?
They were not.
Could
These
they
are the people
navigate?
that thought women were witches, bro.
Okay, buddy. There are still people who think women are witches.
That's-
There are still people who think vaginas are gross and there's blood coming out of them. They must be satanic. Okay, there's still people who think that way. All right, people have existed all throughout history. There's idiots all throughout history. But I'm just saying, could they navigate
saying that-
an iPad? No, they couldn't navigate an iPad. But could they find a way to lift
There's
heavy
people
rocks?
that don't know how to
Yeah,
fucking
that's what I'm saying. Like,
navigate
your
a
granddad
till
couldn't navigate
machine.
an iPad, right? Okay,
I couldn't navigate
That's what I'm saying.
like
So it's-
a tilling machine for the
so it's the same
for the
thing
corn.
goes for like the pyramids. Yes, it is very easy for us, an ancient alien theorist, to sit here and say, "Well, there's no way they could have done that. They had to have help. They had."
I think
No,
that's
it
a little
just-
that's a little different because there's multiple, right? I think there's only like what, 2 versions of Stonehenge,
Yes, but the idea is that
and these rocks are like
yeah, but there's ways to lift.
boulders.
There are ways to lift heavy rocks without modern technology.
Sure.
Right. Just
Okay,
like
sure,
the
fine.
heads.
But
They've
again-
even proven the heads in the Easter
But
Island.
again, my whole point was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like that's not interesting. That's gonna be the most boring. Okay, like whatever. Like they put them on big old things of wood, like chopped a tree down
And I
and just
think-
rolled it. Like I don't care.
And I think that that's the problem with solving mysteries, right? And I think that I don't know if this is the point that you're getting at, but the idea of okay, say they
It's
solve
more
the
fun
Jack
when
the
it's
Ripper
unsolved.
case. Yeah, say they solve the Jack the Ripper case. It takes all the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, we
It's just
romanticize a lot of it,
It's
and
just
it gives people
a-
something to talk
it's just
about for
a
sure.
dopey guy from England who had a knack for killing people, and it seems like they locked him up because he was a little bit crazy to begin with, and so that's like. And at the end of the day, that he got away with killing a lot of people, and it's like it just seemed kind of like it
There's
there's no
2 that come to
mysticism it
mind for me.
anymore, right? Sorry,
There's 2 that come to mind for me.
Okay.
One of them is the Lost Colony of Roanoke.
Okay, I dig that one.
But I do think that ultimately it's going to be like the natives like slaughtered them all.
Now, the Lost Colony of Roanoke is the one where like they came, they dropped the people off. They said
It's John Wyatt.
we'll be right back. Don't worry. And then they come back and there's nobody there.
everyone's gone.
Yeah,
Everyone's dead.
100%. It is going to probably be like, yeah, the natives came in, they just fucking wiped out everybody. Like they were like, nah, no prisoners, don't leave anything behind. They probably
Likely that, yes.
assimilated some of them into their tribes and like the women mainly and maybe the children. But yeah. Okay, that one's one. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one is Jimmy Hoffa as a person who is very infatuated with
That one's like
Look,
just where they
the mo-
buried him, right?
that. Yeah, it's because he had ties and he just up and disappears and like it's still unsolved.
What
Like,
did what did he do to garner the?
so he was the Teamster
know what that is.
and
You have to explain that to me.
unions.
Okay, got you. Okay.
And he had a lot of pull and like again the theory of like what he did and how he died, where he died, all these sort of things. Like they know that he was at a hotel like outside of like Michigan, outside of Detroit, and that was the like because he was at whatever at it was a restaurant. It was it was the last known location, and he's disappeared. There's so many rumors that like he was put in a barrel and buried in like the fucking
It was
the
under a football
sea.
field, one right? Oh, no.
That's another one that he's under. He was under the old Giant
But
Stadium.
the
Like
MythBusters broke that one because they did a sonar thing, and apparently
Yeah.
I don't know. Hell,
there's all these things. Yeah. So like it's more like that's just one of those from a personal standpoint because I mean, he's dead. Like he's been dead for a long
Yeah,
time. So, but it's like, what happened? What exactly happened? Like, um,
I guess,
I think JFK is another one, but like
buddy.
we know that he died,
Yeah,
and and I know that's we're skating a little too close to like, but like I I just feel like something like JFK, like like keep
yeah.
teasing that, like whatever, and I just think that. I don't think that society we all sort of I think have a bit of cynicism that like the fucking government did it, right, like it was two
Well,
people,
the,
it wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald, like there was
there's
somebody else involved,
recently
right?
there's been some theories come out based on evidence that the Secret Service accidentally killed JFK. And by accidentally, what apparently the theory is that several of the Secret Service guys went out drinking the night before, right? They got hammered. They came in next day a little bit hungover. It sounds wackadaisy, okay, for sure. But they apparently came in. The reason that they accidentally killed him was because apparently there were reports that one of the officers didn't secure their weapon properly. Their theory is that
Mm-mm.
they're
I'm out.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Was that the guy who shot? That wasn't Lincoln, right? I forget. Who's John Wilkes Booth? That's right. Okay, Lee Harvey
Look at you.
Oswald definitely shot at the president, and I don't know if he hit the president, but whatever the case, whenever you see him fly backwards, is apparently the kill shot where the officer's rifle had fallen over and discharged and fucking blew his head off, right? There's apparently some
But why
evidence
would
out
you
there
be
for
pointing
it.
it at him?
Well, that's the thing is like it was in the kerfuffle. He tried to gather his gun that he had like in between his legs or whatever. He's a Secret Service. I don't know what he's doing with it, and he accidentally fell over and discharged or whatever. There's some evidence or whatever. That's the new theory out there. I don't know for sure, but I do think that it would be kind of hilarious if that was the case. Like they act like it was just
I
somebody
just
had
think
a
that if
bumble butt
the
thing and
running
they just
theory is that the government did it, right? And
yeah.
I
I
think
mean, then
that
there's yeah.
if I think part of the reason is there's a direct descendant that is in the government right now, so it's one of those
Oh, yeah.
the because like okay, our feelings aside of the current climate,
Mhm.
knowing that the government has the capability and would
Yeah.
in fact assassinate a sitting president.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
believe that sends the fucking society into anarchy.
Anybody who's a longtime listener and knows the game Conspiracy or Not knows that about, I would say, 85 to 90% of the time that there is a conspiracy theory involving the government, it's true.
But this one's a little different. Experimenting on human beings, okay, great. Whatever. I can see that happening, no problem. People are,
We
there's
attempted to, not attempted, we floated the idea of starting a fake war with Cuba.
this never happened. Fake news.
They floated the theory of a terrorist attack on American soldiers in Cuba to then justify going to war or invading Cuba. All right, this was a real theory that was floated.
Liberal propaganda, bro.
So to think that like they wouldn't just be like, we don't necessarily agree with the policies that this guy is pulling off right now. He's kind of making us look bad. The mafia is breathing down our throats. All right, we got all these people who just don't like him. Let's just put a gun and say, I don't know, this guy named Lee Harvey Oswald's hands, and he just takes a couple of shots, and in the kerfuffle, we fucking shoot. We fucking do it. But then we
Do you
pin it
think
on the guy.
do you think we're far enough? I just don't think we're far enough away from it.
When
I
did it
think
happen? The 50s?
63.
63? Yeah.
It's the day before my dad was born.
My dad was
Dad was like
3 years old then. So
I mean,
yeah,
that's
I would
60
argue
some years ago.
yeah, we're probably not far enough away from it. They have declassified a whole lot of shit about it ever
I
since
think
then,
that there should
but
be a rule that if once you are 100 years removed from an incident, it should be public knowledge. All of it. All of it.
yeah. But then it's I don't know how they would make them comply with that rule, but whatever, you know.
I just you owe it to the American people.
Yeah. This is also the
If you truly give a shit.
this is also like the same governmental body that said, yeah, you can you can legally sterilize certain people, you know, if you deem it so, you know.
The Bermuda Triangle is an interesting one.
Is it a theory? Is that a mystery
Well,
or a myth?
I mean, it is a proven fact that things disappeared over there, but I guess the unsolved mystery is why.
Yeah, I would say, ooh,
Like
Amelia
it's a
Earhart would be
proven
a good
thing.
one. Just to know,
Well, yeah,
like, where what happened to her? Did she
what
just get
happened to
caught in
her?
some
Yeah,
fart bubbles and, like, fucking end up in some
yeah.
other, on an island of, there's one, isn't there a theory that, like, she ended up, like, on
On a,
island of
on an island,
tribal,
there
like,
was a
cannibals or
couple.
whatever?
I think we talked about it. Like it was something like a year or so ago, maybe it's two, where there was like a photo that had popped up that was, again, it was alleged that she was like in the background, in some Pacific island or something
That'd
like
be
that.
cool, man. That'd be super cool. She was just vibing out with the locals, man. That'd be super cool.
Yeah. I'm
But
trying to think of what else.
I do think that DB
Obviously
Cooper would be cool to
Roswell,
know.
right?
Yeah,
Like
Roswell would be
did
another one.
like it's been confirmed. We talked. This is like early shit, dude. Remember during COVID they were gonna storm that shit. You remember like episode fucking 4 or whatever of this
Yeah,
podcast?
buddy.
They were gonna storm it or some
Yeah.
shit.
My
I think
guy. That's a
I
throwback.
think the getting a confirmation of what it was. Like not this bullshit air balloon nonsense cuz like we all know something happened.
Hmm.
What was it? Was it a little green man in a spaceship or was it not? But then like also I think we're all deprogrammed or we're all programmed to not trust anything that government says anyways, or at least you
But
should
it's
be.
weird. It's so weird because it's like the exact opposite, right?
Because if they came because listen, if they came out and they said, "Guys, there was nothing there." Like it nothing happened like you know whatever like and then like they're like we'll show you everything that we have,
Yeah.
no one's gonna believe it.
No. They
It's went
could
on for
put
so
legitimate photographs of aliens on the TV tonight.
no, you're missing the point. If they're saying that nothing happened,
Yeah.
no one's gonna believe it. But I think if you would have more people because people have already made up their minds, like we've already made up their minds that something happened, so if
Yeah.
they come out and tell you nothing happened, you're not gonna believe them,
No.
so just do it anyways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could. That's what I'm saying is
Just
that
do-
like they could legitimately come out, right? They could say, "Hey guys," because either way, they if they lied about it, they said nothing happened. But then they come out and they say, "Yeah, here's what happened," and they showed you like legitimate photos of the alien spaceship that crash landed. Them shaking, Eisenhower shaking hands with the Gray himself. Wouldn't believe it. Be like, "Oh, it's fabricated." It's because they've worked
Especially
out.
in the age of AI
Like that's
and deep fakes.
man, because we have
Hmm.
we literally have approached the precipice of just not being able to believe anything.
Yeah, I mean, you were on it. I'll give you credit. You were on the early. You were like even before AI was like, dude, and like that's another
I
thing.
still
Like
believe that.
it just happened so fucking quick that everybody implemented AI, and you were it was like 2022 maybe 20, it may have been like early
I'm
23. You were
still
just like this
heavily
shit
in the
is
belief that about 90% of the articles that you read online are fabricated in some way or the another. They are. They're,
or has writing become so bad that it feels like it's AI?
no, man. This is because this is. It's not just how like poorly written because some of them are fine. Some of them are written just like a normal person wrote it, but it's how detailed and how like intricate the requests for information become and how like what is the word I'm looking for like if you single it down to like a very fine focus like uh I can't think of the word, okay, where it's so narrow like the what you're trying to figure out like if I'm
Specific?
yeah, specific. Like the information requests are so specific for there to be an entire article written on almost the exact thing that you were looking up. Like it's just it the
Yes,
odds are insane.
but again, I think that, and I'm pretty sure I said this then too, the idea that you or I have some completely unique thought that no
Yeah.
one else has come up with is not possible.
No, and that's I'm not saying that I'm solely wholly unique, that I can come up with a unique thought, that nobody else has ever thought before. It's more so that for it to align, because you got to think, like, for a person to have an article listed on a website, they gotta know how to operate the website. They gotta know how to upload the article, like a blog post, etc. Like, there's all these different barriers that would prevent normal people from posting a hyper specific, like, how do you shake a mango just right so that you can hear the ocean, and
Right.
somebody has to know how to do that, but then also has to have their own website, etc. It's just like, I don't know, man. It feels, and then you got to think, like, about the whole, like, the articles and the websites you're going to are fucking just loaded with ads, because that's the only way they can keep the website up. I don't know, man. It just seems very much so that the internet
How
is
would
dead.
you
I don't know.
feel about spending $2 on an old timey photo, and it turns out that when you sell it, it ends up being worth $2.3 million?
Did I sell it for the $2.3 million? Or did I buy the photo and then sell it to somebody for $2?
This is a bit of a dated article.
Okay.
But for $2, for the $2 he spent buying 3 old photographs, Randy Jujaro may
it.
have hit the mother lode. Among them was a tiny typed purported photograph of Wild West gunslinger Billy the Kid,
That
which
is.
now has been valued at $5 million. There are only 2, possibly 3 confirmed photos of Billy the Kid. What are you looking at?
I'm looking up Billy the Kid photos. I want to see what this old piece of shit looked like.
Well, he was a kid.
Man, why do we idolize this guy? He's a good shot.
Well,
Is that it? He just fucking
well,
knew
he
how to
was a
shoot
young
gun?
kid and he died young, but he was part of the regulators in the Wild Wild West.
You know what? Who am
And
I to judge? Maybe he was hot for the back in the day,
but it's just one of the same way that I guess we have romanticized things like, Jack the Ripper. The Wild West gets romanticized as well, and Billy the Kid being one of those for train robberies and all that sort of thing.
Man.
Again, like the last outlaw sort of deal. And anyways, this photo it's an old black and white photo. 4 by 5 inch, shows Henry McCarty, also known as William Bonney, playing croquet with accomplices from his New Mexico gang known as the Regulators. And in that is a picture of Billy the Kid. And so he ends up selling this thing. He bought it at a junk shop in Fresno, California in 2010. Like I said, it was like 3 photos for $2. And then he takes it and he gets it verified, and they start saying, "Oh, this is so and so, this is so and so," and then you hire like a firm, and then they get it authenticated. Like, there's a whole process to all this stuff. Like, you can't just be like, "Oh, this is a photo of Jesus Christ." Like, there has to be like verification.
I
That's
mean, that'd be honestly a little bit more impressive if you had a photo of Jesus
yeah,
Christ. But,
right.
whatever.
Well, I mean, they have his foreskin and stuff.
They got it somewhere, man. I'm just saying.
So
He is holding a Winfield, aka a Ranger 73, for our hunt fans out there. If you know what I'm talking about, they changed it. It was the Winfield, but I guess they lost the licensing or something. I don't know, like the dispute between the Ranger 73 and the Winfield. But
like, what a hell of a turnaround.
you take a turn. That is, he needs to have his own podcast and his own YouTube channel about how you can flip $2 into $5.3 million.
Yeah. I think you get a podcast if you do it more than once.
Nah, he's got to
Imagine, dude, imagine. Like, you do that, and then like you just go to some random place, and then you find you're in the Pacific Islands, and you take a picture of this old lady, and someone like back traces it, and it's like, that's fucking Amelia Earhart, and then like you hit it again, like that's a fucking movie
That'd be
plot.
crazy, dude. That'd be so. Isn't it? There is a funny like news article out there where it's like the guy goes and buys a lottery ticket and he wins, but then they're there filming him like
And he wins again.
Yeah, he wins again. Like wins a car the second time or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, shit, dude. But
I
yeah,
did.
I love that. I would love the idea of him just like, being, hey guys, what's going on here? I just back again. I'm taking this $2 and turning it into $5 million. Like a suitcase full of money behind him.
Yeah.
Man, you know.
There's you said lottery. I saw an article. I literally just like skimmed over it, but apparently, this guy and his best friend of like 30, 40 years, they had a pact basically. They were like, if one of us, because they played scratch offs or like lotto every week
Yeah.
or whatever, they're like, if one of us wins it, we're making a pact. We'll split it. And they fucking
Oh,
did. They
okay.
fucking did.
Those are bros.
$88 million, I think, and and he fucking split it with him, dude.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it on record right now, Alex. Looking at me in the eyes. Looking in the eyes right now.
You're not gonna.
If I win the lottery, I will absolutely split it with you. Because what am I
No,
gonna do
you
with $44 million? You know, I mean, well, 88. Sorry, $88 million. I can
Yeah.
live off of 40 at least.
I
Even
don't.
me and
You
my
don't even have
family.
to split it with me. I'll take a million.
Okay. You know what? I'll say it right now. I'll give you $1 million of it as long as I win over
$1 million.
$1 million. I win $1,001 and you get. I'm like, you legally have to give it to me. You legally have to give it to me now.
It's like, yeah. The problem with, and again, we always talk about the hypothetical, but like the problem is I don't play. I don't gamble. So
Yeah.
like I'm never gonna win.
Well,
So it's like,
yeah,
you
the
know,
people are like, "Oh, you can't win if you don't play." Like, well, I can also say
you're not gonna win if you play
Yeah,
either. So
again, it's a lottery for a reason. If everybody was sat here winning scratch offs, fucking, they wouldn't have any money. You know.
right, yeah. One of the things that we've talked about before is things that don't. Oh my gosh, come on, Rampy. Dude, Tom Wilson will beat your fucking ass. God, I hate the Rangers, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of the things we always talk about is we often forget, you specifically, how big the United States is. Like, it's a big fucking place.
It is a
And
lot bigger than I give it credit for.
because,
For
like,
sure.
we have our friends across the pond, and you can get from Germany to France in an hour, or you can get to England to, you know, Austria in 3 hours, like, whatever. Like, and all these countries are connected by train. Whereas, like, you know, we can't even get to the end of our state in 7 hours. You know what I mean? In a car. And like we do have train systems here. We have like, metros and subways
But
and
they
stuff.
carry goods. They don't carry
Well,
people, do they?
well, no, metros and like, there's the New York
subways, yeah.
subway system stuff. So like it's within the city. But Canada, our friends up north,
Not so hot.
they
They don't
are
like us so much right now. So I don't know if we can call them friends up north right now.
they're my friends.
I mean, I don't know, man.
I didn't cause any of the fucking
Hey,
problems.
I know, but unfortunately, we're kind of all in the same basket right now.
No, we're not.
I mean, we kind of are.
No, we're not.
I mean, I still feel like you couldn't go up there and be like, well, I didn't vote for him. And they would be like, well, okay, you're okay. I think they'd still be mad
I
at us.
guarantee that's exactly what would happen.
I don't know, man. Well, shouts out to Canadian friends. If you hate us, let us know. If you love us, let us know even more.
I don't think they hate us. They hate our government. Yeah.
For those of
know
you
what I
on the
mean?
audio only, I'm making some questionable faces as if I don't believe that. I'm going to press X for doubt. So,
I mean, go right ahead. Anyways, they're moving forward with their multi-billion-dollar plan to build a high-speed rail network that connects Quebec City all the way to Toronto.
let's fucking
Now,
go. Are those on opposite
you don't know
ends?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, they're not. It would be 1,000 kilometers, which is about 622 miles. 100% electric.
That's not even
with
halfway to California.
that that reaches speeds up to 300 kilometers, which is 187. There will be stations in Toronto, Peterborough, Ottawa, Montreal, Laval, and Quebec City. So, and I would, again, it's Canada's just as long as, from point to point, from like Vancouver to.
Yeah, dude, that's not even halfway from. Okay, so if you're going to go to Carolina to California, you wouldn't even make it a third of the way.
Yeah, because again, the United
God
States
damn,
is
we're so
gigantic.
big, man. We're USA, USA, USA.
We have a big girth problem and not a lot of substance.
But then you got
But you also-
the idea that fucking half of our country's fucking inhabitable because it's either desert or fucking nowhere land.
Look at a population map of Canada, and
You said
everyone is like literally right on that line, dude.
Quebec to
Like,
Ontario, is that what you said?
Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec to Ontario, right?
It's Quebec, Peterborough, Ottawa, Montreal, Laval, and Quebec City.
But yeah, what is it? Is that where it spans? Like,
Yeah,
what is
that's
it?
622 miles.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on it by any means. I love a good
It's
high speed
basically
rail.
meant to like you could get from one end to the other in a day, in less than a day. Like you know what I
Buddy,
mean?
I
Like
wish we had that, man. I'm telling you, we just had.
I
if
just
we just
think
had
that
one
like
on the East Coast. That we don't even have to span the country. Just give me one on the East Coast, up and down the East Coast. I want to get from Maine to fucking Florida in 12 hours. Is that so hard to ask?
I just don't think you can do it.
I want to. How? Okay, so
Go look up Miami to Portland, Maine. What's the mileage?
Miami to Portland. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get there, but it's fucking up on me. So hold on.
Just type it in distance. Any day now.
I'm trying, dude. You fucking put me on the spot, okay?
Am I gonna have to do it for you?
Yeah. No. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just doing.
Jesus
Okay, so it's a
Christ.
10-hour
Miami
drive to go.
to-
No, hold on. From Maine to Florida, it would be 25 hours, 1,600 miles.
Exactly. So it doesn't even. It would take 2 of those rail systems to get the East Coast.
Okay. Yes, almost three, but how fast is the high speed rail? What's the fastest high speed? What's
187 miles per hour. 187 miles per hour.
It says but I want to see the fastest of all time.
It's somewhere over in like Japan, right? Or like India or China or some shit.
Okay, so a modified French TGV train reached 574 kilometers per hour, or 357 miles per hour in 2007. I don't know if anybody was on it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at a certain point, your just face is gonna be like,
Yeah, which is like
the
fine. I don't care
G-force.
if I get there. Okay, so that's 357 miles an hour. Divide that. What's 1,600 divided by that?
you have a calculator.
I do. Okay, so you do that. So 1,600. Let's just round it out. 1,600.
Why does it matter? This is boring
350.
shit.
I mean, I don't care. It's 4.5 hours. We get down there in 4.5 hours. So it's like that's fine. If I'm fucking 20 G's.
Yeah, but
for 4.5 hours,
but you're not
I'm
going to though. You're not going to because you have to stop. It's not a one-way trip.
It is for me because I have an express ticket.
The thing stops. I mean, you're gonna have stops in like all the major cities along the way.
Okay,
But like,
okay,
but the
so-
thing is, pal. Listen here, pal.
Okay. Lay it
There's a
on me.
lot of like weather-related catastrophes that are going on lately.
Oh yeah, especially on the coast. Yeah, I guess now you speaking of it, it's probably just gonna destroy the fucking thing, and then you gotta deal with the salt water and shit like that, and the hurricanes.
It's not even that. I
Ugh.
think it's just like the hurricanes, and it's just like that's why you can't go through the Midwest because tornadoes.
Okay.
Now if
Hear me out.
if you did underground,
Subway from Maine to Florida.
that is like an extensive like $1 trillion project.
Hey, we gotta spend money to make my life easier. So
Well, and what the problem ultimately lies in big oil, right? And they won't allow it.
God,
They
it's
won't
a
allow it.
goddamn cuckold fucking. What is that dick container thing?
Chastity belt.
Chastity belt. God, that's in a fucking chastity belt by the balls right now, dude. Not even one of the fun ones that just the wiener. It's like the balls and the wiener. So, wiener's a fun thing to say, dude. It's so funny. Oh man, I can say wiener like 12 times. It's still funny every time, man.
Give me an update on this. We always like to give a callback. The Saudi Arabian super dystopian. What was it? Neom. Yeah.
I don't know what you fucking call it.
Basically, the update is it's going to be very expensive. It's going to take a long time. So it's like a
expensive,
100-year project.
Shitty
right?
people running the thing. Lots of money being dumped into it.
way.
People are dying left and right on it.
No
OSHA's
way.
not happy about it because OSHA's not involved.
Do they have OSHA there?
No, they just
Do we even have OSHA here anymore?
no. But lo and behold, it sounds like a giant grift that's not going very well. So
no
yeah,
way.
I know. And you're saying to me right now, but the Kushners, they donated so much money to it, and it was supposed to be this big investment. Yeah, it's fucking not gonna happen, man. So they have
another
backtracked
fight.
it. They've backtracked it. It is no longer gonna be done in like I don't remember how many years they were talking about. It's like
It's like
100
2032 or something. They said, right?
Yeah,
They were going to start in 20. I think we talked about it in 2023 or 2022.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo, we're going to start in 2025." And I'm pretty
they're already
sure.
saying
Like,
it's
go
gonna be
back,
a
and I was like, "There's
100-year
no way."
project. It's going to be a project. You were never going to see it. It's not going to work. It's going to
It's
be
never go-
You know that District 9 movie? You know the District 9 movie?
Yeah, I wish they'd make a sequel to it.
You know, like the slums outside of the city.
Yeah.
That's going to be Neom in about 50 years. They're going to get halfway done with it, and they're going to ship all the people they don't like to it, promising it it's an oasis, and fuck, it's not going to be. So it was just an update on it. It's fun, a little callback to that. So
There was a guy in your neck of the woods, right, who filed a false police report.
no, okay. First of all, I don't know
He
where
he
Monroe County is. Okay.
he thought he's like, I could fight a bear,
No. Okay.
and then a
This is
fucking
all
bear
fake
said,
news.
I bet,
No,
bitch.
it's all fake news. It's fabricated. You're fabricating the news right now. Okay, I'll tell you what really happened. Okay.
Okay,
No.
tell me what really
Okay,
happened.
so authorities get a phone call late one night,
Mm-hmm.
maybe in the afternoon. I don't know which. I didn't read too hard on what the date was. That
Oh, I
this,
thought you knew this guy. I thought this was one of your
no,
buddies.
it's not. Yeah, it's Gerald down the street. He's fucking. This is just his
That's right, you don't
nefarious
have any friends.
activities. Yeah. No. Dude calls. Okay, so the story's gonna get kind of convoluted. So everybody stick with me here. Okay. Okay. Bad guy calls the authorities and he's saying, I've been chased by a bear. It chased me off a cliff and I've fallen, hurt myself. I need help. All right. That's the bad guy. Manhunt ensues, shows up,
Do
finds.
they help him?
Manhunt ensues. They show up, they find dead guy, victim on the ground. He's dead. He's in the water. He's floating. He's dead. Right. On the body, they find ID labeling him as, let's say, Ken, for lack of a better. Okay, so Ken, right?
All right.
They quickly identify that this is not Ken. This is actually local man. Okay. Oh shit. What was his name? Local man.
Bert.
Bert. Okay. I got the name somewhere in this fucking notes or whatever. Criminal man. Okay. Criminal man. Okay. Stephen Lloyd. So the local dude has been identified as Stephen Lloyd, right? So RIP. Apparently he was just a fine individual. He was a foster kid that got adopted by a nice family. He roamed the streets or whatever because it was where he felt comfortable, but he didn't trust people. Unfortunately, this dude befriended him, led him out to the woods, murdered him, pushed him off the cliff. Okay. They quickly, I just want to point that out. They quickly identified it that this is not Ken. This is Stephen. And so they then began a search for the real guy, his name
Who made the
being-
call.
Who made the call, his name being Nick Hamlet, who
Okay.
the reason they knew that it was him is because Ken, because I don't remember the fake name that he used, was a fake name that he used, and he was trying to cash in on an insurance scheme for the said, name.
Mm-hmm.
Not a smart individual. Okay.
Sure.
All that happens right in our backyard. Turns out some hospital staff identified him in Colombia at a hospital, and they were like, "Yo, this is your guy." They caught him. He's under arrest. It's just, to me, it stuck out because this guy's a fucking idiot. Okay. He's apparently not a good guy to begin with because he had
Sure.
several felony convictions already. He took the plea deal on just aggravated assault, but it was like aggravated assault, attempted murder, fucking holding a gun to the guy's head. I don't know. He was not a good dude. He got out apparently on good behavior early in like 2016, and lo and behold, bad guys are going to be bad. It's not always that case. A lot of people do turn their lives around. That's great. This is not the case. The guy seemed very violent to begin with.
Sure.
And when you know it, he fucking still violent when he got out. Almost like the system doesn't work the way it's supposed to. But hey, whatever. Okay, not for me to decide. But it's just cool that it happened.
Speaking of violence,
Yeah.
you started a project a couple of weeks ago,
Oh shit.
and you did a very good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure I went on record both on this podcast and many times. I was like, it's not gonna work. Don't put anything against the wall. Don't put holes in your wall.
Okay.
You're not gonna like it. Yada yada.
Okay.
Lo and behold,
I'm in the same
you
spot I always am, buddy. So technically
decided
speaking,
that, I guess, in a bout of a wave had hit you, that you're like, I need to change, and you did, and you hated it.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait, it was actually better the way it was. So much so that even your own wife was like, you gotta stop, dude.
Now I'm gonna be 100% real with the audience real quick. Okay, guys. I did. What Alex is saying is Unfortunately,
True.
100% true. This is one of those instances where he's telling the truth. I know that I am normally known for telling nothing but the truth, but Alex is actually telling the truth right now.
Okay.
Now, yes, I had a bad bout of ADHD. I got
Hmm.
antsy, and I said, "Oh, hey, let me just move my desk around." Okay, I should have left it there. I should have just left it at like, let's move the desk around. Okay, you know. But instead, I said, let's move the desk around. Oh, wait, I don't like the way this desk looks this way. Let me just completely tear it apart.
Oh
Fucking
no, the one you just built.
the one I just built, just completely tear it apart and then refix it to where it looks better in the situation. Turns out you shouldn't always follow your intuition with ADHD. And I learned a lesson from it. Okay. And that's what at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's about me being humble and like
Okay.
learning the lesson and understanding, like, I just need to be, if I feel good in the space, just be okay with it. You know, don't feel the itch to move everything around. Like if you do
I
move,
think
want
you
to feel the
need.
itch of move everything around, do little things.
I
You
think
know?
you need some of that post nut clarity in your life.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah. I honestly, shouts out to everybody out there because this applies across the board, no matter what gender you are, no matter LGBTQIA. It doesn't matter, okay? Because anybody can benefit from post nut clarity. You know what I mean?
Right. But I just mean in terms of like you don't need to make those sort of like extremely, I wouldn't say irrational, but just like those decisions
Mm-hmm.
where it's because like you were pretty bummed out once you
When I was sitting
changed
there,
it and you
yeah.
were like, I regret this.
Mm-hmm.
I wasted a lot of time and now it has put me further into like a slump.
And it definitely sent me spiraling, and I
Hmm.
recognize that. But I was able to save it. And now, moral of the story, no, silver lining of the story. I learned a lesson. I understand now that I need to, like, before I start making these big decisions and moving things around, take a deep breath, go jerk off, uh, get some post nut clarity, relax a little bit, and then come back to it. And hey, try moving a little thing around or two. Don't tear apart a desk that you just built and cut it to
Especially,
pieces and have to then turn
so
around
I
and
didn't know
fix
that
it.
you had fucking got it, dude.
When I say that I was in a bit of a slump, okay, I meant it because like I had realized that I ended up spending 4 or 5 hours of
Hmm.
unnecessary amount of
Hmm.
time working on this. And then, but silver lining, I got it all fixed. It's okay, everybody. I'm good. I'm back. I'm back in the game. Okay. Got everything put back together. Desk is a little bit shorter. Okay. Camera angle still the same. But honestly, I like that it's a little bit shorter and I'm okay with it. Did I want it?
Do you, or is it something that you're just trying to convince yourself?
No, this is legitimately, like, that's the thing. Like, you're just trying to. No, I legitimately, like, I think it's fine. It's actually more flush now because beforehand, you guys can't see it obviously, but it wasn't as flush it is now. Uh, I also learned some things from it, so hey, there's some learning, But
Okay.
it's just kind of one of those things. I think that you're absolutely right. I think that learning from post nut clarity is taking. I think more people should benefit from post nut clarity. I think so.
Yeah.
Uh, but that being said, I have had a burning question. I've got some stuff I've got to do later on. Okay, I got 2 weeks from now. I got to go do some stuff. All right, it's post vasectomy stuff for all you vasectomy
Okay.
bros out there, right? And one of the rules is you can't do anything being sexually, right? No getting your rocks off for up to like 5 to 7 days beforehand.
Oh man, you need a full batch.
Yeah. So, but it got me to thinking. I don't remember the longest amount of time I've ever gone without, you know, you know.
Okay.
So my question to you is like, how long do you think, like realistically speaking? Because I mean, I guess it's not like you have to do it, but at the same time, it's like, how long until it starts to get uncomfortable?
But I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
I mean, I don't. But I'm just saying, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I feel like a week is definitely going to be tough. Not to
Just are you talking like just to jerk off?
just to do anything. Yeah,
Nah,
like with
I don't.
yourself, whatever. But
I mean, it just depends on how horned up you are, I
you
guess.
gotta fucking distract yourself for distract
Sure,
yourself for
sure, sure,
sure.
sure.
Gotta distract yourself for sure. But I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I think
What was your
there's
question?
people like they could probably go like
I mean,
years.
did
I guess
monk?
people. But then again, but it's just like the thing. It's like I'm not saying specifically.
Well,
Like,
there's
you have
certain
to have
religions that like
sex.
masturbation's like bad,
Buddy, come on. You,
and
I think that's the thing, man. It just even if you were like asexual, right? I don't know how that all works, but I would assume that even people who are asexual still have an urge, or maybe not. Man. I don't know, man. That's the thing, man. Maybe somebody needs to humble me, teach me something. But under my current brain, it's like eventually, it's gonna like you start wearing on your brain. Like,
I mean, it's
hey,
like a stress relief
yeah.
too.
And I'm not talking of like, oh, I've got to go bang somebody right now. I'm talking more so just like relieving the sexual urge yourself, all right? Like
Mhm.
with your own hands, doing the nitty gritty style, like with your own bare hands, right?
Yeah, grunt style.
Yeah. So don't be going out there thinking I'm like doing anything nefarious, dude. No, I would never. I'm talking about like, just me, myself, and I.
That's also one of those weird things where there's like, bitch, you can't tell me not to fucking like jerk off.
Yeah, I do what
Like,
I want, dude.
like,
Fuck
yeah,
you.
you know what I mean? Like,
You'll get the
like,
sample you get, okay? Fuck off, dude.
I mean, I think for their,
But then that's not realistic though either.
but like, we're okay. So
It's like taking a test, right? I'm never gonna not be without a calculator, okay?
yeah,
But then
well,
you're sitting
we-
here telling
they
me
tried
not to
convince
jerk
us
off
that
for 7
that was
days.
a reality.
Yeah, but it's like you trying to tell me not to jerk off for 7 days. There's not going to be a situation in life in which I don't jerk off with that for 7 days. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here, okay? So theoretically, if you want an accurate
I feel like
test,
this is a deja vu. I feel like we've
it
had this
might be.
conversation
I don't know,
before.
but if you want an accurate test, I'm just saying you're going to have to like just deal with the sample that you get because that's like what I'm running with day to day.
It's that whole thing like don't eat anything after 8 o'clock because we gotta take your blood. It's like, well, this is not what my blood is.
You're just it's like fucking health inspections. No place that you eat got that 98 score by
Yeah.
always being that fucking clean. You
Yeah.
can go ahead and as having worked in the food industry for a good 15 years of my life, none of the places I worked were ever a 98 score clean
Except for the days at the
365
health
days out of
inspection.
the years, except for the days at the health inspectors, because that's the thing.
Because they tell you ahead of time.
They don't always. There is like a range in which they will say, "Hey, we are going to be here within X days," right? And generally speaking,
Don't.
it's like a certain month, and
You want your food quality to improve? Don't. You need to show up when they least expect it.
exactly, and I think that's how it should be. But then it's like, oh, it's entrapment, right? But the whole point of it being is
We
like,
lose like all of our restaurants.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's so I bet it's one of those things where it's
Then
like
the
an
economy
unrealistic-
crashes.
It's an unrealistic test, So
Yeah. I mean, I fundamentally from like just like the actual basic like objective of a test, I don't like because it is not a test,
no,
especially in the current. At least again like I've not been in school for quite a while, so my problem was always the test because you're basing someone's entire like school career based off of like the results of like 4 or 5 tests.
yeah.
And it's like if you fail the first one, like now you're just like it becomes like an insurmountable amount of pressure. Like I have to do good. Like I have to do good. And then like
should have studied harder for that first one.
it's just like yeah, but like we all know that like at a certain point you just stop.
Yeah,
Like
and it's
you-
also not how because all you're doing is you're just testing how well somebody can remember something. And
Yeah.
me, I have a dumb brain. Okay, I know a few things.
I don't. And I
That's-
still didn't do good.
And I don't understand how you didn't remember stuff. But then again, it's like it's not an
Because I didn't
obscure
give a
fact.
shit.
Yeah, that's true. It's like not an obscure fact about hockey. They were like testing you on.
It's not even that. It's just like because I knew that I was not going to use trigonometry. I knew I wasn't going to do it. I was not going to be an engineer. This was stupid. Why am I learning this?
Yeah, and
American
learn
history?
to
Yeah,
take
okay,
it.
great. Like that's great. Okay, great. Like I understand it. What
Get
good
rid
does
of
it
the
do me?
basic classes that like don't apply to the job I'm trying to get, right? And accounting, like why do I need to take
Well,
fucking
I mean,
PE? You know.
well, you need physical education.
Well, yeah, just fucking tell me to go run, but don't make it a whole ass my whole ass like career based.
If a motherfucker told you to run when you were in 10th grade, what are you going to say?
I guess I'd probably just run. I don't know, dude.
You go, well, I just felt like running.
I felt like running. I don't know.
You
Yeah.
know,
Is
unless you're like me and you're just like defiant because you don't like being told what to do.
Nah, I always listen to authority figures, dude.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's your problem.
I mean, hey, I am a sheep. I ain't gonna claim to not be a sheep, man. I'm just.
That's why you always play both sides.
That's what I do.